What's going on, everybody? John here from Bargainteers, and today we're going to be finishing off the part 2 review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. So yes, it has been almost 2 weeks since our last Galaxy Note 3 review, but I wanted to give the same treatment to the Verizon version as I did with the AT&T version. Now, the differences between the white version and the black version is pretty different on the back, but that's about it. The black version is a little bit more preferable simply because it has the fox leather backing. It's a little bit more premium, a little bit more rubbery. With the white version, they just had to cut a bit of corners with that one. So nothing too much over on that side. However, either one is still pretty much preferable. The white version just has the more plasticky feel, and it was a good call on Samsung's side simply because the white one would have gotten a little bit more dirtier if it had this fox leather backing. So great call. Now between the Verizon version and the AT&T version, there's really not a huge difference between the two. I want to say I had the AT&T version for about 2 weeks, and I had the Verizon version for about 2 weeks now. So to really level things off, I haven't seen any major changes with it. The only major change that I have seen was the carousel effect. Now, I don't know why Verizon wanted to take out the carousel effect. However, that's not a huge deal, simply because you can simply change this with a launcher, which most people are going to do, especially since TouchWiz is still imminent on this phone. Now, call quality wise is excellent, especially on the Verizon version. And I like it simply because the person on the other side can actually hear you too. The AT&T does the exact same thing. You can hear people on the other side, and the other person can hear you on the other side as well. And that's really special thanks to these noise cancellation mics, one right there and one right here. So that was a really great thing that Samsung did. I think that's what a lot of phone companies are doing nowadays with their smartphones. My normal commute is basically going to work, going to school, coming home. Alright, so within that day you get a lot of moderate usage. Okay, however, I have a ton of things that are always on, and sometimes they need to be shut off, but sometimes I do take the Wi-Fi off. My GPS usually stays on through the day. Let's see, multi-window view, that always stays on because I use it. Mobile data, air view, air gesture. Now, I use a lot of these features simply because they actually work. Now, my normal commute start out as waking up in the morning around 7 o'clock, and I generally get about forever battery life. So let's go ahead and turn this. Let's see if we can turn this on. All right, so right now it's 4:26 and I have 60% battery life. Now, I wanted to show you this again because the battery life on this is absolutely amazing. What I really want to get off into now is the camera quality, because I got to tell you, the camera quality on this is excellent. With that being said, the 13 megapixel camera on this is probably the best thing ever. Now, of course, megapixels don't matter at all. However, I could use image stabilization. Now, it's not perfect, but it's excellent. I don't know, I don't have no clue why Samsung decided that it was a great idea to ditch OIS or image stabilization feature, but that was really needed with this one. However, I can deal without that just because of the amount of modes that Samsung put on this thing. And I mean modes. They put a ton of modes on this thing. They basically took their camera technology and just stuffed everything that they had in here. I mean, if you go to the camera, I mean, you can find almost any mode imaginable. I mean, surround shot, panorama, eraser, rich tone, and a lot of them are really useful. You know, when I first got this phone, I really thought, you know, some of them were going to be gimmicks, but really they turned out to be really great. I mean, the best mode, of course, is always going to be auto, you know, but I would have loved the HDR mode if, you know, they just put a little bit of image stabilization in here, because this would have really took the cake right there. But, you know, you got golf, animated mode, drama. It doesn't work really in my favor, but it really does do a good job sometimes, well, really when it wants to. And the good thing that I like about these is that when you go to a mode, it just doesn't tell you the mode. It tells you information about the mode as well. So when, you know, you go to a mode, you're not really in awe when you're trying to figure out what's the difference. So with that being said, this is a really, really great camera. I mean, you have a ton of things in here that makes it great. You got the back illuminated sensor, okay? You got the CMOS image sensor, you got autofocus, touch to focus. I mean, you have a slew of things that just turn this thing on. Like, I'm talking about burst mode, digital zoom, geotagging. I mean, everything. Samsung just stuffed everything in this camera, so I really give them props to this camera. I mean, what really took my heart with this camera was the 4K video, because you know, when I went into Best Buy and I saw the 4K TV, I was shocked to see that, you know, that many pixels on the screen. But, you know, basically Samsung took that technology and stuffed it in this phone, and I was amazed. I mean, 4K video is so clear that you thought you were almost seeing an actual person. I mean, I know that we were saying that when, you know, the 1080p screens came out, but man, you really gotta try the 4K video on this thing. If you have a Note 3 right now, just get it out and start recording with 4K video, because that thing, it really works, and it's actually the future. You know, with Samsung's UHD TVs coming out, I mean, this is really, you know, the future, and this is something that we're, you know, have to get used to, because it really works. You know, although, you know, the PS4 and Xbox 360 isn't optimized for 4K TVs yet, it's soon to come. Already is working in phones, and there's no doubt that, you know, future products like laptops and everything else is actually going to be optimized to work for these future technologies. Now, Watch On is another feature that I like, and with this feature, I basically stopped using my my remote altogether. I mean, I don't even use it anymore, and I really like this because you know, I don't have to look for my remote anymore. Most of the time, I'm coming to my cell phone, and I'm always picking it up for stuff. And if I ever want to watch TV, I just go ahead and turn my TV on. And the great thing about this is I could turn on almost anything with it. You name it. Okay, I could turn on my Chromecast dongle. I could turn on Comcast. I could turn on my Xbox. I could turn on my TV. I could change the volume. Okay, and basically that's what Watch On is. I mean, it's basically a universal remote that's pretty much about to make universal remotes go obsolete in a few years. So, you know, this is literally just a 5-cent sensor that, you know, after manufacturing and labor costs, that Samsung just threw into their phone. And it's actually right here, the IR blaster. It's right there. You can find that on almost any remote these days. But you know, that's a really great thing that, you know, Samsung did, because now, you know, you no longer need to look for your remote. In just 3 months, 10 million people bought this phone, meaning the support for this phone is staggering. 1 month later, you know, this device is still a very, very hot topic. And with the S5 underway, this phone has paved the way for this upcoming device. It just built so much momentum in that, and that is really, really great. You know, so, you know, is the Note 3 really a buy? Absolutely. You know, my hands isn't humongous. You know, these are average hands. You know, and still I can perform, you know, some really great functions with this device. And, you know, if the device, you know, is too big for people, that's a-okay. Because, you know, there's things, you know, that this phone has that can actually, you know, tone the screen down, you know, for one-handed use. So, you know, this phone is catered to, you know, almost anybody. For more information on the Note 3, you can go ahead and visit Bargainteers' website. If you missed part 1, there's a link below in the description. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And you know what? Subscribe for more videos.